Hello, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Ongaku, the podcast where three friends come together and break down what's new in the Japanese music industry. This is the podcast for the week of June 12th, 2020. I'm your host, Ken, and with me we have Gray.
What's happening, dudes?
And Luna.
Hey everyone, Oginki.
I'm alive.
Woo, woo, woo!
Watashi mo.
Whoa.
Woohoo! It's
But yeah.
Friday.
What have we been listening to? Let's start with you, Luna.
I haven't been listening to much, so I got Millet's Eyes album in the mail, and that's been on repeat pretty much all week when I've had to go places. That album is phenomenal, and it is everything I hope for and more, and I almost muted myself on accident. So I've also been listening to a little bit of Cream, mainly because Banana has been my summer song, and Girl Like Me has been popping up, and also listening to some Yayoi Diamond and some Kira and Miyu. I went back to my lovely music corner because she's such a beautiful voice. And that's pretty much it for me this week. What about you, Gray?
So I've been listening to a little bit of LOL and a little bit of Color Creation, getting the Goldie Oldies back up and running. And I just been listening to just a little bit of everything as of late. I've been listening to this week's MC, which we will talk about, which is a very recent discovery of mine, but they have one song I absolutely fell in love with, but I think the rest of their stuff is to die for as well, but we'll get into that later. But it's nothing too crazy. What have you been listening to, Ken?
I've been listening to a various amount of things. I've been listening to Addiction again, to continue on from last week. Then I've been listening to Kemi Doll, which I know you would probably like, Luna. And after that, I've been going on to Yu Igarashi, Leslie But Gold, Harai Die again with Life Goes On, and then Hikaru Utada with Time, a little bit of Tendre with Life, and then Official Hige with Parabola. But a little bit of everything here and there. But yeah, with that, let's continue on to the articles here. And with that, I am first. And going on up to the lovely vocalist, Sayuri announced that she will be releasing a brand new track titled Aoibashi across all digital music streaming platforms. Currently, it was being used for the ending theme song for the slice of life anime Sing Yesterday to Me, and is the latest release done by the vocalist since her first album made back in June. The track complements of what the theme of what is love, and it kind of toys with that instinct and kind of brings everything out to fruition. You can check out all the information about that on our site, along with the teaser for May on our site as well.
All right, moving on up to our next article, we're going to be talking about 6-member girl group Hiragana Kamiyato, as they have dropped their second music video called Superhero. Hiragana Kamiyato is the younger sister group of more famous group Kamiyato, and they only formed this group last year, so this is a very interesting music video, and it's not really tied to any upcoming release or whatnot. It's just something fun that they decided to drop in the middle of the lockdown, so definitely give this a check.
Music Corner alum Syrup announced that he will be releasing a brand new track titled Hopeless Romantic across all digital music streaming platforms. This will be the latest release done by the vocalist since his EP CIY back in March, and will be his first single release of 2020. You can check out all the information about this on our site. It is very, very, very good. I love it very so much. And continuing on to vocalist Ryota Kaizo released the music video for his track Suiteki na Hito Yo on his official YouTube channel. Current released on all digital music streaming platforms, with a physical release set for this past week on June 10th. This will be the latest release done by the vocalist since his mini album Ai no Kantachi back in June of last year, and is his second single overall. You can check out all the information along with the digital music streaming site links and the pre-order links for the single on our site as well. Continuing on up to the vocalist, Sano Ibuki released the music video for his track Jewelry on his official YouTube channel. Attached to his first EP Symbol, which dropped several weeks back on the 13th, the track takes a much more electronica feel and is brilliantly paired with Ibuki's impressive vocals. You can check out more information along with the music video for Jewelry on our site. And following the release for their track Dropout, The four-member pop rock band Seikai no Owari announced that they will be releasing a brand new track titled Umbrella across all digital music streaming platforms, currently being used as the theme song for the suspense drama Ryu no Michi Futatsu no Ka o Fukashitsu wa. The track is paired as a double A-side release for June 24th. The release, being dubbed as Umbrella/Dropout, will be the latest release done by the group since I back in February of last year, and will be their 15th single overall. It will release with 3 editions, and you can check out all the information about that on our site, along with the lyric video for Dropout on our site as well. Vocalist Unknown-kun announced that he will be dropping a brand new single titled Stay Forever on July 8th. This will be the latest release done by the artist since his EP Who Is Me back in October of last year, and will be his latest digital release since Lost Sheep back in January, and is currently being used for the cosmetic company Shiseido's upcoming product Anessa's commercial song. You can check out all the information about this on our site, along with the lyric video for his track number 5 as well. And continuing on up to industry legend Shisako Mikami announced that she'll be releasing not only a single Redburn/Trajectory Kiseki on June 19th, but a brand new album called Emergence on October 7th. Both releases will be used to celebrate Mikami's 20th anniversary in the music industry, and currently Redburn is set to be used as Fukuoka Red Hope's cheer song for the upcoming season. If you guys don't know, Fukuoka Red Hopes are a baseball team, and probably be the only baseball we see along with the Korean Baseball League, which is sad. I'm very sad about no baseball. I'm very sad about that.
I am too. As you know, we got a decent team where I live, and I'm very upset about this. I love baseball, and I love watching it, so I'm so sad.
Yeah, because they couldn't agree on the pay. That's the only reason why the stupid holdout is happening. But regardless, to hype up the release, the track will be released on all digital music streaming platforms, and you can check out all the information about that on our site, along with the music video for her track Snow Letter on our site as well.
Alright, so next up is Bradio. Those of you who don't know, they're a Japanese funk rock group. It has released a special stay-at-home session of their track Sugar Spot to promote staying at home during this COVID pandemic. And this is also part of their 10th anniversary release, which they kicked off their tour earlier this year, which you can check that tour out on YouTube if you haven't yet. But I would check out their home session of Sugar Spot, which was included on their second demo single, Dance and Soul, which came out in 2012.
And continuing on up to vocalist Mia's solo project Sangotsu no Fantasia, released the music video for her track Gyakusama no Lady on her official YouTube channel. Released a couple weeks ago through all digital music streaming platforms, the song was the latest release done by Sangotsu no Fantasia since her track Kemuri back in January. You can check out all the information about that, along with the lyric video and the digital music streaming links on our site as well.
Alright, next up is Japanese rapper and Music Corner alum Sanadi is releasing his first physical single, and actually had released it on May 30th. It is currently available on all digital platforms, Hero, and it is the first physical release since his album 16, which came out in June of 2019. This has been chosen as the main theme song for the TV drama Itoshi no Nira, and the track is about pain and romance from a world view. And you can hear many of the emotions in it Sanadi has. You can check out the track listing, and the limited edition comes with a special DVD of Sanadi's live tour 16. You can check out all that full track listing along with the teaser video for Hero on our site.
After the success of his album Azalea, vocalist Shin announced that he will be releasing a brand new single titled Re on August 5th. Famously known during his time for the visual kei band Vivid, Shin will be reunited with his bassist of the band E for this release. Under the new moniker MTR, the bassist will be handling the composition for this release, with Shin writing the track himself. And lovingly taking the meaning of re as reunion, the vocalist hopes that fans will enjoy the rekindling of the duo for this single. The single will release with 2 editions, and you can check out all that on our site, along with the music video for his track Hana on our site as well.
All right, so Sky High marvels the world with his YouTube tour releases. Those of you who don't know, he is a Japanese vocalist, rapper, and member of the group AAA, which we have recently covered in our Artist Spotlight. If you have not checked that out yet, it is currently live. He gave fans a special treat with the release of all his previously released tours from 2018, 2017, 2016, and 2015 on YouTube, and this is due to the COVID 2019. It is a good way to stay at home. He also released more information on his Sky High The Best. It was delayed until September 23rd of this year. And you can check out all the pre-order links on our site for this as well. And you can read a little bit more about the extra activity Sky High has been participating in.
And with that, let's continue on to the music corner here. And this week, Gray, you were lucky to bless up with your duo, so go right ahead and explain who they are.
So this week I kind of stumbled across these guys, and I wound up really falling in love with them. So I wanted to go ahead and give them a shout out and stuff. So today we're going to be talking about MaRuRi To Ryuga, and they are a co-ed music duo that obviously is composed of MaRuRi and Ryuga. So MaRuRi and Ryuga came together in April of 2018, and they are currently signed under EMI Records, which is a subsidiary of Universal Music Group. MaRuRi got started at a young age singing in the chorus and continued until her 3rd grade year in high school. So she done a lot of singing throughout most of her life. And Ryuga was really into singing karaoke. And fun fact, he actually spent a brief period studying abroad in New York while he was in high school. So they're only 21, 22 years old, and they just have this really wonderful voice. I was stumbling across them one night, and I had listened to their latest song, Sunny, and I really liked it. But then I got to Hajimari no Uta, and I my socks were just blown. That was really the moment that I was like, okay, these guys are just absolutely insane. So MaRuRi's voice is really just majestic and powerful, and Ryuga has this gentle voice, and they're just able to come together and sing, and when they harmonize, it just sounds so well, and it just really creates this experience that it's really hard to encapsulate and talk about, but it's just really phenomenal voice work that these two do. And they're so young, they literally just started their music careers. And for a group this early on in their music career to be able to perform in this manner is just really outstanding. The only direction they can go is up as they gain more time and practice. So I think in a few years, these guys are just going to blow up and be huge. You can find all their music on Apple Music, Spotify, a lot of the listening services. You can also check out their latest news and updates on their official website, along with their Twitter. I've been eager to hear what you guys think, what y'all's thoughts are. So, Luna, why don't you tell me what your thoughts are on MaRuRi To Ryuga?
I thought they were a really good choice. So I love their vocals, as I thought it would be way more upbeat techno, but they reminded me of a more relaxing type of music, such as Momoon type of thing. And I thought MaRuRi's vocals were freaking phenomenal. And it gave this like happy-go-lucky, peaceful feeling. And I think I needed that this week because it was very cheerful and upbeat and cute. So I didn't really know what to expect by them, so I was pleasantly surprised. I'm looking forward to them making more of their music readily available, as a lot of it's YouTube Premium only, which disappointed me. but I enjoyed them quite a lot, and I thought their harmonizations were great, even though you don't really hear Ryuga that much. I think MaRuRi has it set. I mean, they both are such a great combination in their harmonizations, and their vocals blend so well with the compositions, which is what I found very enjoyable. Hajimaru no Uta was super cute. That was the first one I heard by them, and the one that popped up on YouTube first, that one was really good. And there was another one that was freaking adorable called, was it Sunny?
Yeah.
And that was their newest track, and I like that, but I still think Hajimari no Uta was my favorite one so far.
I was talking about this with Ken pre-show, and he was talking to me about them, and I was like, it's like I really wound up liking like all of their second EP. I think their second EP is just really amazing. All 6 songs, fantastic. You can label just about any of them, but for me, like Hajimari no Uta was just like that catalyzation point for me, where it's just like, bam, okay, I've got to really like, daggum, this song is just absolutely fantastic. And I will say there are some parts where like MaRuRi unfortunately does start to drown out Ryuga. It does happen a couple of times. That is like the biggest thing I would like say about them in that regard. But
Yeah, and I noticed that as well because I hear more of her than I do him, and I can make the distinguishment between them. However, she does drown him out vocal wise as you really pay attention to her vocals because they are so strong and powerful. And he can match that, but only to some extent. And I think that was the one thing it was hard in the distinguishing wise is when you're listening to them, you really hear her more than anyone. However, I still think they both did, like, vocal wise, they have a very similar voice, which makes for such a nice blend.
yeah, and it's very song by song basis, because there's some songs where he has a much more powerful presence than she does and stuff like that. So I think it's depending on the song composition and what the song calls for and stuff like that. It's very case by case basis. But specifically in Hajimari no Uta, they're like, especially like when they're harmonizing, which sounds amazing, you can hear her a little bit more than him. But it's a very, very minor gripe in the long run of things, because it's like, hot damn, so good.
Well, I also just think that it's because of her being more classically trained as a singer than compared to Ryuga.
That's also possible, yes.
So I would think that while he does have a good vocal range, it's not going to be compared to someone who was in a chorus and knows how to sing in a duo or group scenario compared to Ryuga, who does karaoke and just sings by himself. Yeah,
that's a good point.
But going on to my point here, it was very difficult for me to kind of get a grasp on them, because we all know what kind of styles that each of the three of us like for the most part. And when you said that you're recommending this group because of one song, and I'm like, okay, I kind of already had the idea of what this type of style song was. I listened to Hajimari no Uta, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I was fairly impressed. And I can tell that the composition was very great, and it really wowed how vocally trained the both of them were. And I listened to the rest of the EP, and it took a while for me to kind of dawn on that, until I got to Repeat, which is one of the last songs on the EP, where it just goes, oh, yeah, they're a diamond in the rough with their vocal skills. And they're much more emotionally driven singers than what I thought. With Ryuga and his much more encompassing and majestic composition that they posed for them over this last EP, it was very interesting to see the contrast for both. So I can't wait to see what the next style that they're gonna approach, or if this is gonna be their stagnant style, or how they're going to evolve. But we'll see, because I'm highly anticipating to see what their next release is, because I won't be able to kind of judge them on just two EPs, yeah?
Yeah, 2
but,
EPs and 3 singles.
Yeah. Oh, well, the singles were encompassed in the EPs. Yeah.
Yeah, minus Sunny. Sunny's like the only one that's kind of standalone.
Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah, because it's a much more newer song.
Yeah.
But yeah, so whenever they have their new EP, it'll be very interesting to see what kind of style or their next step, so to speak, of what their sound is, because they're like a little, they're feeling their way out in the industry, and that's one thing that you'll see over time of how groups will change and evolve and how they feel, what their style is. Like, case in point, we didn't know about AAA until like the third album.
Yeah,
right?
it takes a while, and going back to like what we were talking about is the fact that they are young. They're very very in the early stages of their career, and they have a lot of room to mature, and it'll be very interesting to see how they mature vocally and musically as well.
See, nonetheless, and yeah, thank you so much for introducing us to MaRuRi To Ryuga.
Thank you so much, Gray. They were very interesting, and I look forward to seeing more from them in the future.
Yeah, no, you guys are welcome. I'm just glad you guys really enjoyed them, and yeah, I am looking forward to see what they do next. Yeah.
With that, let's continue on to the Oricon here, and it's something.
It's a week. It's
a weird week.
like we're starting to see
really.
a little bit of shake-up, which is nice.
Not much, but a little bit. 2 new tracks maybe.
But yeah, with that, let's go on to number 10, and it is Haru Shion by Yaoi Soba. Not much what we can say here, yeah.
Nope, I think
No.
we've said it, but I still like Yaosobi.
Yeah.
She's so cute.
They do good stuff. I'm glad to see that they're still on here. It looks like this might be the last time we get to talk about them, sadly, but hopefully not.
Nah, she like dips in and out for some strange reason, so... Because this happened the last time, where she was gone for like a week or two, and then she came back.
I have a feeling she'll be back, because I noticed her trending a lot lately on Twitter.
Regardless, this week it sold a lovely 11,859 points, and going on up to Hakujitsu once again by King New. Nothing more we can say about it. It's King New. It's their best song.
Yep.
It's there.
It's the thing.
But yeah, this week it sold a lovely 12,127 points, and going on up to number 8, it is Pretender by Official Hige Dandism. Can't say much to this one also.
Yeah.
Nope, we've said what we can say. It's still on here. We love you somewhat.
Yeah.
Next one's a Goldie oldie.
But regardless, Pretender sold a lovely 12,992 points, and going on up to HKT48's latest track, 3-2. And, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, this is still their beginning song for their next set. It's very interesting to see what the 48s are going to do now, because they are literally pushing the reset button on a lot of their tracks.
Yeah.
On a lot of their groups, anyway.
Yeah. I like the song. I think it's it doesn't really stand out too much, but it's not a bad song. I don't think it's like really bad. It's just very much in the I guess the wheelhouse, I guess is what you could say, would be like the HKT48 family and stuff like that. Like, it doesn't sound like it's breaking the mold per se or doing anything radically different, but it's leaning on older styles, which isn't too bad.
Well, the thing is with this, I don't want to get into this right now. It's what the 48 system is going to make, and that's what we're going to need right now, because like I said, it is a proverbial restart for their system, because this is the latest track after Sashi Adorino graduated.
Yeah.
So it's a nice hello, so to speak, but it is what it is. Regardless, this week it sold a lovely 13,262 points. Going on up to number 6, it is I Love for Official Hige Dandism. They're probably their best song.
Yeah, I will agree with
their
that.
only song as of right now. But this week it sold a lovely 14,010 points, and going on up to More and More by Twice. Now, this is a very interesting thing, as this is the first full Korean track that we actually covered.
Yes, it is. And is it weird that I'm excited about this just because I went back down my K-pop hole again?
I mean, that there's your reason, because you went down the K-pop hole, but
I did.
I mean, I know because the Oricon chart takes anything from streaming and digital, so it also took international also, and my friend was pretty much listening to this nonstop as well. And it's interesting to see that, the Toys train ain't stopping anytime soon. It more so the distance makes the heart fonder, so to speak.
Yes, it does. And I know a lot of people who are really into Twice, and a lot of them are very American. So I saw this song pop up as well. And I'm hit or miss on Twice, mainly because it brings me back to Kata and Girls' Generation and My Days and No's. And this kind of brought me back to that, and that's more of the vocal aspect of More and More, which I like their harmonies, I like their vocals. I think they're actually a decent group. But then in turn, I go and compare them to the ones I grew up listening to. And I know it's different for another generation who might not have listened to SNSD, Kata, Secret, Rainbow, Miss A, etc. The jewelry, going Baby Vox, like going really far back. And I like Twice, but my issue with is the composition, as it's been done before. And I felt like they could have done a little bit more, but the composition is very K-pop, also very Americanized if you hear it, especially in the dance parts. And that was my issue. I will say I did enjoy it. It was a fun track. And if you're trying to grab an international audience, especially in US, Europe, Korea, with the sound that it is, you're going to grab them with this one. Now, if you're looking for a little something more unique along the J-pop lines and idol industry, you're probably not going to grab someone with the simplicity of the composition. But it would be a fun song to play in a club or a dance party. But it's definitely not my favorite track by them, as it didn't catch me as much as like TT or Candy. That's my issue with Twice is, there are more memorable songs, but I'm glad to see an actual Korean song make it on here, and it shows how international they are and how many people listen to them. So that enough, I think, is amazing. It may not be their best one, but just seeing it make it is a showcase to, hey, maybe people check out some of the other K-pop groups later that are very well loved and that Twice is probably inspired by.
Yeah, I don't know. This song for me was just okay. I did not love it. I didn't outright hate it either, but it has a very, what I like to refer to as a very minimalistic style, especially when it comes to the composition. It's mostly just a lot of beeping and booping. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just not something I really enjoy to listen to. I do think the vocal work that the girls do is pretty solid, and you do catch the melody more from the way they sing sing the song rather than actually hearing it in the music. But I don't know. For me, there's just not really a whole lot to say about it. It's okay. I don't know if I'd run out and buy it, but it's here. Twice is very hit and miss with me. They have songs that I love, and they have songs that I just don't think really make the cut. So this is a miss, and there's nothing wrong with that.
So apparently, the encompassed a very different sound to what fans are used to with this song for Korean style. So a lot of people did like it that way, and it's interesting to say the least, because I don't listen to the K-pop all too much anymore, and it's interesting to listen to see how K-pop evolved from back in the mid-aughts and mid to the teens aughts and stuff. It's interesting to see it that way in the evolution of that style, but it's all right. I'm not gonna go out and buy it, so to speak. It done its job. It makes their presence, so to speak, more noticeable, and they are gonna have a Japanese release fairly soon, within the next month. So we might see a Japanese version of this song soon, and they might change it, but who knows? But regardless, More and More, So They Lovely, 15,066 points. And going on up, it is number 4, once again, Gorenge by Lisa. Nothing more we can change about that. She's doing still very, very popular of what this song is. I mean, not much other songs had stood out for anime anyway. Regardless, this week it's So They Lovely, 18,830 points. And going on up, once again, it is Kosui by Eito at number 3. Nothing more we can say about this. He's doing great at what he's doing, and we'll wish him all the more better for his next release. Kusui sold a lovely 22,317 points. And number 2, once again, it is Yoru ni Kakeru by Yaosobi. Once again, nothing much more we can say here. Yaosobi is on a dominant role during the stay-at-home movement parts of the charts here, making it very solid and consistent for that matter. But this week, Yoru ni Kakeru sold a lovely 32,285 points. And going on up to number 1, it is Top, the Japanese version by the Korean group Stray Kids. Now, what did we think about this song?
I can go first. So I didn't care for it. I'm just going to say that. I did like the chorus, but I felt like that was the only redeemable, God darn, I can't talk tonight, redeemable part to me is they did show they do have some vocal skills there. However, I think my issue with the song is I feel like they're trying to piggyback off BTS's fame, as they reminded me of very BTS. However, I will say their rap work was par or subpar to BTS. It wasn't as good as them, and I felt like this song was mainly meant to showcase maybe their music video more than their actual vocal capabilities. Is when you first hear it and you hear that guy, the I don't know if he's the lead rapper, start to rap, and to me it wasn't rap, and he, in a way, his voice reminded me of T.O.P. from Big Bang. However, T.O.P. does have a deeper rap voice, but he doesn't scream it, and this dude was like screaming it, like trying to scream rap, and I'm like, what am I listening to? So, and then it kind of broke a little bit from there, and the chorus part, smoothed it out, and it went back to some of the rap, and I just felt like there was a lot of things wrong with this. It felt too similar to other groups, and it just felt in a way like copycat, but subpar copycat. And I thought their dancing skills were fantastic. I mean, don't get me wrong, they have some mad skills there. It just wasn't for me, and I didn't care for the song. I will say I want to give them a second chance, as this is their first Japanese single, and I'm not going to judge them on that. And I would like to see what else they can do in the future, but this one just didn't do it for me, and I was hoping for a little bit more, because I wouldn't have minded some good K-pop in there, but I'm just gonna stick with my old school stuff.
Okay, so I want to be upfront about how I feel about the song. I did not like it, but I'm going to be probably the most positive of the three of us to talk about this song. So it does have a lot of issues, and it's not. I would never sit here and ever really refer to this as being a good song, but I did feel like the chorus was pretty catchy. It does have a solid hook. The composition at least is there, which is nice, which I think was like the one thing that really got to me. Was I just really did not like the composition style that Twice had. So when I heard this song, it was automatically an improvement, because it's like, well, at least there's a composition here. So I did enjoy the composition, and I thought the rapping was fine. It was a very different style than what I'm used to, and it's not even the style of rapping I like, but I thought it worked sort of in a weird way. It got the job done. I don't know if I would listen to a ton of that, or if that's something I would like to listen to on a regular basis, but for this one song, I was like, it's he's not doing it the whole song. It's just like certain pieces, and it works for what he's trying to do. So for me, I didn't outright hate the song or really just like vehemently dislike it. I just felt like it's okay. It could, there's a lot of things that it's doing that I don't care much for, but there's a couple of things here and there that I think kind of work, and I can live with that. Like I said, I liked it more than the Twice song, and even then it's still just, it's okay. It's not really like, I wouldn't go out today and buy this by any means. It's not that good. I'm not gonna go out and listen to it on repeat. But it gets the job done, I guess. It's fine.
I mean, I feel like it's more of a flash in the pan than anything.
Yeah.
of what it feels like it's there kind of thing. And like what Luna said, this is their first Japanese single, so I mean, I can't really I really shouldn't try to be too hard on them about it. And it was for a very popular anime that is the only anime that is airing right now, Tower of God. And I just don't know how I really do feel about this song. It's a flash in the pan of what pop is for K-pop, and unfortunately, it's not the style of K-pop that I like. I've gone about this adamantly through the years that we've done this. Is you're gonna impress me more about a vocal heavy composition than a dance heavy composition, and that's the only way you're gonna win me. BTS has done that. There was another Korean group that did that for me, but it was a vocal heavy track and then a slower composition, and that's what I really need. I don't need this flash in the paw K-pop overwhelming dance style for this. Leave it to BTS. BTS has it on lock at this point. But I mean, regardless, it's alright for a debuting Japanese single, and it is a part of a very popular anime. It's the only anime that's airing besides Sing Yesterday to You. But it was alright. I think the only thing that I got out of it, if I was watching the music video, was the chorus dance. It's the wave thing that they were trying to do. That was pretty cool. That's the only thing that I'll agree on that would really draw me to this group. But even so, I need a couple more listens from other tracks by them. Regardless, T.O.P, the Japanese version, So They Lovely, 37,973 points. Let's see how well the albums did here.
I'm excited for these because, as you know, something dropped this past week that I was like ecstatic about.
Well, I mean, you were helping it.
Oh, of course I did. If I could afford it, I would have bought every edition, but I can't afford that.
But
That's
yeah,
my girl.
going on up to number 10, it is the Bang Dream Girl Band Party Girl Pa Collection Volume 4. We talked about this last week. Morphonica, right, is what we agreed how we pronounce it.
Morphonica. Yes.
Morphonica? Yeah. But yeah. At number 10, Juju Your Story. At number 9 will probably be one of the last time we'll see it, unfortunately.
But
Ceremony with King New at number 8. Fuji Kaze with Hurt Ever, Hurt Never at number 7. Lady Gaga's
Kuro Mantica.
Mantica's album at number 6. Even our editor didn't really like this. She said it was different, and I was like, oh, okay.
I want to check it out because I do like Lady Gaga and I own a lot of her stuff, so I'm curious, but I haven't actually bought it.
Yeah, our editor, who's a huge Gaga person, was like,
Is iffy. Okay, I won't put my hopes high.
Because she was like, it's good to experiment, but it wasn't really good. So I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, continuing on to number 5, it is Fantastic X mini album. It's their new Monster X's new mini album, Korean one anyway.
You can get this in the U.S., by the way. I saw it at Target.
That tells me that I can't play it on Twitch now, so good on them. Number 4 is Traveler by Official Higedanda's. Number 3, it's Mei by Sayuri.
Yay! I'm really glad to see her on there.
Yes. It's really good to see someone that kind of just started as anime singer and now is kind of blossoming into her own style. So hopefully we'll get to see more of her. And maybe this is why it was on.
I'm sure it was. Everyone loves
her. More and more the 9th album. So I would think that the physical copy of this was driving the sales, and the digital only for the single side was the reason why I got up there at number 2 for Twice's stuff anyway. And number 9, it is Eyes by our good old Music Corner alum Millet.
Yay, I'm so happy. If you guys haven't checked out this album, it is fantastic. I love it. Like, every track is gold. And even though you've heard most of them, it is amazing. She did a knockout job. Sorry, I just had to get that out there. I'm in love with this album.
So I'm looking forward to a review, huh?
You will get one because the funny thing is I've listened to my physical copy in the car, and while I was working in the garage, I actually had it playing on Apple Music as well. So I've like double contributed. It is amazing. And I've been recommending this album to a lot of people I know because she just did a knockout job. Even if people aren't super into J-pop, I think a lot of people can relate to some of the songs. and her vocal skills are just on point, and I cannot say enough about how much I love her right now.
But yeah, with that, congratulations to Millet there. We've been championing her on the sidelines for far enough, so good for her to make it to the spotlight at number 1. But with that, I want to say thank you very much for listening to this week's episode of Ongaku Ryu. You can find it at all the lovely social media stuff at Instagram and Twitter at Ongaku. You can find the website at ongakuryu.com. You can find us on YouTube, where we posted our anime episode, which is exclusively only for YouTube, our anime theme songs for winter 2020 to be precise. So take a look at that and tell us how we did. You can follow our lovely affiliates, Koryu Hunter. He is a Twitch streamer who does all the spooky horror stuff and unique stuff. Go check him out at twitch.tv/KoryuHunter, KYORYUHUNTER. You can also check out our other affiliate, Timbertaff, who is a Twitch streamer in his own right. And you can check him out at twitch.tv/Timbertaft, TIMBERTAFT. And our lovely affiliate Rose, who is your sister Luna, and she mostly streams the Minecraft, the RuneScape,
And Monster Hunter.
and Monster Hunter.
And some art, but she's been working 40 hours this week, so I don't know if she's gotten back to that, but I know she was wanting to try something new, as that Steam sale is going to be coming up soon.
But yeah, you can find her at twitch.tv/RainstarKitty, RAINSTARKITTY. You can also find the podcast that I do with Lou and Timber called Podosaurus. This week it was just me and Lou and our official 4th member of the podcast. Fangirl has no name. I have to edit all this so I can add her in later on. But yeah, you can hear all of our comments. Here is a sneak peek of just some of the topics that we talked about on the lovely podcast here. We talked about flip phone comparisons, downloading ringtones, and iPhone versus Android. If you want to hear me talk about shoe bell for some strange reason because they look like Muppets, go check it out on Podosaurus on all the lovely podcast services. But yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at OTYCan1, where I am just yelling into the moon about Bang Dream and Seiyus and PlayStation 5 and how my new futuristic router is going to look very, very nice to my new soundbar that is the Xbox One X Series X thing. But where can we find you guys?
You can find me on a couple different platforms. So I'm LunaMaria87 on Twitter, Letterboxd, My Anime List, and Anime Planet, and I am Nerdy Collector Luna on Instagram.
And how about you, Gray?
And you can find me on Twitter at Ongaku Gray, where I tweet about what I'm listening to, what I'm watching, all that fun jazz. And if you haven't had a chance to check it out yet, it is live. Please check out the AAA Artist Spotlight. I put a lot of time and effort into that, and I hope everyone enjoys it. And just looking forward. Thank you.
But yeah, with that, I want to say once again, thank you so very much for listening to this week's episode of Ongaku Ryu. I'm your host, Sen, saying thank you very much, and have a great day. Aloha.
This is Luna. I hope everyone had a great time listening to today's episode. Thank you again, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. This is Luna signing off. Ja mata ne.
And this is great. Hope everyone has a safe and fun week, and we'll be back here next week. Have fun.